Hello, my incredible elementary leaders. You're watching this because you are serving for Easter. Whether you have served every weekend since you were born or you are jumping in for the first time at Easter, I wanted to show you guys. I've made some changes in the room. We're doing some things a little differently because it's Easter, so I want to make sure that everyone is on the same page about that. So I'm going to start with a tour of the room. Here we go. This is our elementary room. All elementary K through 5 is in here. When we come in at first, we are going to play. All right, so you saw a basketball hoop over there. There's a thing of toys right there, some Lincoln Logs, some board games. This is a big popular item, the race cars. And then we have a Connect 4 game over there. And this will have a clean piece of paper for each service so kids can draw or doodle or color or whatever they would like to do, okay? A couple safety things in the room. We have 2 exit doors. They're locked from the outside. They're unlocked from the inside, obviously. Kids cannot go in. There is a bathroom in the room for children to use. You cannot use that bathroom. Please do so before you serve. That is very helpful. We're a ratio-based ministry, so if someone leaves, then we are out of ratio. So that would be really helpful to do beforehand. Okay, on that little tour, if you serve regularly, you have noticed that the chairs and cushions are not here. So we want to make sure we have enough seating for everyone this weekend. And I've been hearing feedback that maybe those are not the best things for our kids. Some of you love them, some of you have no feelings about them, and some of you really dislike them. So we just want to play it safe for Easter and make sure that there's nothing that's going to distract kids or make a child feel like they're not welcome in here because we don't have enough for them. That would be a terrible feeling. So they are put away. The kids will sit on their bottoms on the floor. And they are going to be just fine about that. If they ask you questions, you can just say, well, we're doing things a little differently. Don't say that it's just for Easter because it might continue afterwards. We're going to see how it goes for Easter, okay? So just vague answers are fine for our kids. Okay, when they come in, like I said, we're going to play, and then as soon as service starts, so 0 hour, so 5 o'clock, 9 o'clock, 11 o'clock, we actually start our lesson because we do a full lesson in here, start to finish. It mirrors Big Church pretty much. It's really similar. We're going to start with a really fun, active, lively game. It's really fun for kids to come in. A lot of kids will come in a little bit late or like right on time, so it's fun for them to get to like come into a room that's really exciting. Be aware, though, some kids will come into a really exciting, loud atmosphere and freak out. So I would love for one of you guys can talk and decide who that's going to be as the team, to be on the lookout for those kids who are just like, no, this is too much stimulation. This is way too much for me. And you can kind of just take them under your wing and just explain to them, like, you don't have to do this game. It's okay. Why don't you come over here in the corner where we can just kind of be away, make sure it's not like a corner like they're in trouble, but just away from all the chaos. So that will really help them. Also think through this. Kids really want to know what comes next, and transitions are really helpful. So knowing your lesson, which I'll touch on in a second, and knowing what comes next so that you can tell them, hey, after this, we're going to sit and do this activity. After this, we're going to do worship. It's going to really help. And the LGL is going to help with that too, because that's written into their script of what comes next, okay? So first things first, we have a sock hop. The kids put their little legs, this is kind of hard to see, sorry, in this little rice bag here, and we're going to hop. Oh, look, it has a bunny on it. That's what it's for. They can hop across the room. So there will be lines on the floor. There's one over here. I'll put one on where you can hop back and forth. It's kind of a relay. So again, just a lot of energy. There's some bunny ears they can wear to be a bunny. Lots of really fun stuff, okay? After that, they're going to get in small group. All of this is going to be led and directed by the LGL. LGL stands for large group leader. They're the teacher in the room. They are the Greg or the Tim, whoever's preaching, that's them, okay? They'll tell you what to do next. But again, please read your lesson. It's attached to this email. It says elementary small group leader lesson. It's the same for every age group, okay? So the first activity you will do with them in small group is to go over the rules. Very important to talk about these rules. The first rule, you'll read this in the script, but the first one is be safe, be kind, be known. We're going to do that by keeping our hands to ourselves. We're going to, just be a safe person. These kids in elementary know what that means by this point because they're all in school. Be known is one that we struggle with. And be known means keep your name tag on. I will say for Easter, all these sweet little girls and boys are in the most precious little outfits, and the name tags don't stick very well. If a girl is wearing tights or leggings, try it on their leggings or tights. Let them put it on, not you. And if a boy is wearing like a really nice shirt, sometimes the khaki shorts or the jeans, whatever they're wearing, or pants will stick better to that. Worst case scenario, it's not sticking at all. Put it on the door frame. See where I'm pointing? The parent comes to pick up, we can just take it right there and match the numbers to that. So the reason that's important is if you're a parent, you know when you pick up, you show your claim tag. We match the number on the claim tag to the number on the name tag. Name tag is missing, we can't match. Then the kid has to be the last one in the room, so it's process of elimination. Don't be afraid to let kids know. If you lose your name tag, you'll have to wait until the very end of service to leave. So that's an incentive. Not to scare them, but most of our kids take the name tag off and play with them. We have had one kid eat it. That was a bummer. So just let them know that that's not to be played with. You can also put it on their back if need be. Really important for you guys as small group leaders to know your kids. I know a lot of you are going to just be meeting them for the first time. We're going to have more kids than we normally do because it's Easter who maybe don't come all the time. So just really try hard to see their name on their name tag and remember it. It's really powerful when a kid gets to be called by their own name. So the first activity, you have butcher block paper, and you're going to give the kids crayons. Crayons work better, crayons and markers, older kids can have markers. Crayons work better than colored pencils on the floor, and they are going to draw on the butcher block paper what they think of when they think of Easter. Okay? Don't correct them. There's nothing wrong about this. It's a point we're proving. So if they draw an Easter bunny or chicks or grass or Easter eggs, that's not wrong. That's what they think about. So that can be wrong, right? Because it's their thoughts about Easter. Obviously, if someone's writing something inappropriate, you can intervene, but that's not going to happen. So that'll be for 10 minutes. In that time, ask them questions. Talk about them. Like, so did anyone go to Easter egg hunt? Did the Easter bunny come? Keep in mind, we are going to say things like Easter bunny because a lot of these kids are still going to do that, okay? So be mindful of what you're saying. If you don't have little kids at home, you might not be in that practice of talking about that, but we're going to say Easter bunny. And if someone says, well, there's no Easter bunny, you can say, well, we can talk about that later. Or I think we do think that there's an Easter bunny, but that's not what Easter is about. The important thing is that we're going to learn what Easter is really about. It's not really about the bunny. It's about Jesus. So you can just kind of redirect that conversation and bring it back to Jesus, okay? And that's what the lesson is going to be. So they will draw that picture. The LGL, after 10 minutes, you'll have a timer. The LGL will bring everyone back up, eyes up here, and they're going to do a lesson. In the lesson, they're going to talk about, right after that, they'll bring everyone back up. We do 2 worship songs. Lloyd is going to lead us in worship. It's going to be amazing. Guys, I'm going to ask you during worship with your kids. Worship with your kids. Get in the middle of the room. Don't hold back. Worship like you would in big church. They don't know how to worship yet, some of them. Think of the first time that you went to a service or was learning what worship music is. So it's maybe kind of awkward. Some of these kids, they'll throw their hands up. They know exactly that they are praising their Savior. Some of them have never been here, have never done this. Might be the first church they've ever been to. We've had that before. So just know that kids are going to be all over on this, and they're going to be looking to you as the leaders to tell them what to do. So worship, guys. Lloyd's leading us. This is going to be amazing. After worship, then you guys will take them back to their group. So I do want all the kids to come in the middle of the room for worship, and then you go back to your group. Let them sit on their bottoms facing the stage so they can see. Miss Carolyn is teaching 5, Mr. Nick is teaching 9 and 11, so they can see Carolyn and Nick. And they'll do it from there. So they'll teach for a little bit. They'll throw it back to you for an activity. Your first activity you're doing is in your script. It's called Activity 1. It's about magnets, okay? Because we're going to talk about what drives us away from God is sin. So like the opposite ends of a magnet, you see them trying all my might to push them together and they're not going. You're going to pass these around and let the kids try. And then some smart kid is going to say, well, that side works. Sure does. So how does this work? How do we get to God then? Oh, through Jesus, because Jesus made a way for us. This is all in your script, guys. All the language is there for you. I just wanted to show you what these look like and what that's going to be like, okay? So you're going to take 5 minutes to talk about that. And then the LGL will bring it back up here. Large group leader will bring it back up here and communicate a few more really important things. I do believe there's a game that we're going to play where the kids sit up and stand up and sit down based on their answers. So that'll be just kind of a fun thing. And then there's going to be a video without audio. So we have a video that's really cool of a book that's going to be read, but I want the LGLs are going to be reading it instead of the audio on the video. And so it's called Easter Love Letters from God. So they're going to read this, and then we're going to talk about Easter. We're going to talk to these kids about what happened, and it's a big topic. You guys know Jesus died for us. That's heavy. And some of these kindergartners, maybe this is the first time, it doesn't matter how old you are, it's the first time they hear it, dying is really scary for kids, right? And so just be sensitive. We're going to go there. We're not going to sugarcoat it because that's what's in the Bible. And we're going to talk about what's in the Bible. That's what we've been called to do. But just be aware that some of these kids might be scared about that. Or they might say, well, my grandma died. Will she come back to life? Those are really common questions. We just had that a little while ago. Well, my dad died. Can he come back? So just be prepared for those answers. Also, just know that it's really okay to say, I don't know. You don't have to have the answers. I'm not expecting you to be a biblical scholar. I'm expecting you to love these kids well, to make sure that they're safe, and to help them engage in the activities. If you get those questions, you can say, why don't we talk to the large group leader after that if you don't feel like you know how to answer that? Or, if you don't know about a family member, don't say, well, if they love Jesus, yeah, they go to heaven, because what if they don't know Jesus? So it's okay to say, I don't know, buddy. All I know is that Jesus died for us because we were sinners and we couldn't get close to God with that. Because remember that magnet we talked about? But if we believe that Jesus is our Savior and we ask him to be our rescuer and our best friend, we can go to heaven with him. So we did this teach last week. If they have any questions, and the LGL will talk about it too, about how does that happen. You may have kids that ask about it, and that's okay. Pull in the LGL if you need some resources or some help. If you feel confident to have that conversation, have it. It's awesome. It's an awesome conversation, especially to have on Easter. But I just want you to know, I want you to hear, I'm saying a lot of things. I want you to hear, I don't know is a great answer. Or let's find out together. Feel free to let me know if there's a question you can't answer. Also, I wouldn't anticipate a ton of really big questions. It's Easter. It's going to be really fun. It's going to be fast-paced. So it's okay if you don't get those questions. Doesn't mean that they're not listening. I just want you to know that these questions could happen. So just kind of rehearse your answer. What are you going to say to them? And then lastly, our last activity we're going to do, since we're reading a book called Love Letters from God, we are going to let the kids write their own love letter to God. So we have some nice paper and some markers or crayons. If they're little guys and they are not confident in the writing, which a lot of them won't be, they can draw a picture. But I really want to kind of save the drawing a picture aspect just for the little ones, because I really want to encourage the kids to express what they're feeling. If they don't know God or they don't really know what to write, just you can say, write some things that you're thankful for. And that's a really good, kids can think of what they're thankful for. And it might be really surface level things, like, I'm really thankful for my Easter basket and my candy this morning. But you'd be surprised sometimes where our kids go. So just let them go, okay? Whew, I talked a lot, but I just wanted to make sure that you guys are really prepared for the activities. Like I said, read the lesson, know what's coming next. We're going to have so much fun. This says it in the lesson, but I want to just hit home on this. Small group leaders, your job during the teach, when the LGL is on the stage, is to be engaged in the lesson too. So if they say something funny, laugh. Even if it's not maybe that funny. Laugh at their jokes. It makes them feel good. They are funny. When they say, okay, do you guys want to do this? You be the loudest one. Say, yeah! Like, you having all that energy is really going to feed the kids and give them the energy that they need, and the correct energy, because they'll have energy, right? But I mean the correct, properly channeled energy. The other job that you have as a leader is to redirect behavior, and we're going to have that because they're kids and they probably ate Peeps for breakfast, so consider that. Ew. So if they're up there being silly and they're talking to their friend, or they're laying down and they're kicking somebody, that is on you, small group leaders, to say, oh, sit up, come back here, please don't do that. Not the LGL. Please let the large group leader be the large group leader and just communicate the lesson, right? Think of this in big church. If there's a baby crying in service, Greg doesn't say, hey, would you mind just stepping out or going to the nursing mom's room, or just kind of, would that be okay? Greg does not stop his teach to do that. That's a guest experiences job. They come in and say, oh my goodness, I'm so sorry you're having trouble. Come on out, let us help you. They're protecting the family and they're protecting the room. So you guys have that same role. It's not easy. I'm not saying it's easy, but it is your role and you're going to do great at it. And if you need help, you can ask other people in the room for help. There are walkie-talkies in the room, so if behavior gets pretty escalated, and you really need a second pair of hands to help you, you just walkie and I'll come in and help you, okay? All right, I know this was long. I just want to make sure you had everything. I appreciate you. I can't wait to see you guys. See you 40 minutes before the service starts. It's going to be awesome. Oh, I forgot to mention there are 2 more activities. There's a Mad Libs activity, which is just a silly little thing to do at the end. Do that after the love letters to God, okay? Give kids plenty of time to do that. Do the Mad Libs activity, and you can do that several times if you need. Now, sometimes Easter services, sometimes services in general, can go a little bit longer than what we think, and we're only programmed for 75 minutes in here. So if it goes longer than that, it should not go much longer. We have another game in our back pocket that the LGLs can get out. It's a scooter game. You guys, the small group leaders would be the ones to sit on a scooter, and the kids are going to push you on your back across the room, and it's really silly and fun. You don't have to do that. If you're afraid, if you have some medical condition that would be unsafe for you to do that, let us know up front. Let the large group leader know up front, but we would need 2 people to do that. So again, might not get there, but we could if we need a time filler activity. Okay, thanks for listening, guys. I'll see you Saturday or Sunday. Happy Easter.